Hello everybody, I'm here at Ball Street North. I've been talking to the lads, so go and check out the videos that we've done over on the Ball Street channel, and we're on my channel now, so we're going to talk about United, and we're going to talk about the next three games, next three Premier League games, because there's a massive spectrum of what could happen, not just for United, but I think for the whole league here. United have got Watford and Arsenal away. The whole league.
Oh, is this a different league? Sorry.
The top of the league. The top of the league. We got Watford and Arsenal away, and then Manchester City. That's three massive games. You wouldn't have thought a couple of years ago Watford could even be in that decision, but they're playing so well.
We beat them.
Where do you see United going here? Because it could go 3 wins, it could go 3 losses.
The big. I say criticism. It's more like the big proviso everyone's having. They've been talking about Man United this season. Is that you've not played anyone for ages. Now look, you've played some big games since then. But this is I would surmise, and look, I'm not a great follower of Manchester United. Of course, I'm not.
Really?
But those three, I don't believe it or not. But those 3 games back to back, that's got to be the toughest spell. And as you say, Watford. Theoretically, the Watford, when you go into the season, you're like, Watford, just be Watford are tricky. They are, they're trickier than you think. Can't all have late penalties, you lucky bastards. But yeah, look, I think that's this is the difference between you guys challenging for the title and whether you're going to be sucked into the 2nd to 6th battle for who are the 3 other teams that are going to qualify for the Champions League, basically.
Dino, what do you reckon? Because there's no way we're getting 9 points.
Well, it wouldn't surprise you. I mean, you look at it and go, surely not from that. But Mourinho, he's the king at doing this kind of thing, and the whole, it's obvious, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but the whole pragmatic thing, and he knows how to win and all that stuff. Could easily see it being 9 points. I think I'd expect you to beat Watford. The Arsenal thing, I'd expect Arsenal. There's always that chance that they'll either implode or whatever. I think the biggest test will be the Man City one, and then even you look at that. As much as the firepower they've got and the subs they've still got that defence. And if United go 1-0 up, you wouldn't expect any other team to be more capable of shutting them out. So yeah, I'd expect minimum 6 points if I was a Man United fan. Not expect it, but that's what I'd kind of.
It's 8 points now at the moment, isn't it? Which is a massive amount in November to be at. Let's ignore Watford and Arsenal. Whatever happens in those, I'm sure there's going to be a difference in points by then. But if City beat us, it's at least 11 points by then. Can we come back from that?
You'd think not, wouldn't it? With the squad they've got and the fact that they can go out and strengthen, even left back that can go and strengthen that in January, which he's alluded to. Yeah. So no, you'd think 11 points is too much if it's a win.
I was thinking, well, hang on a second. Look, City have got 3 games or 2 games to play prior to that as well. It stands to they've got Southampton at home and West Ham at home.
Yeah.
It's at least 11, isn't it? It's at least 11.
It's an interesting one though, isn't it? Because it's Mourinho's mindset of whether he thinks throw everything into that one game or wait it out to the next Manchester derby.
Throw everything into Arsenal, Watford and damage limitation, the City game maybe.
He's got to win those 2 games though, hasn't he, to make the Man City game mean anything?
Yeah.
So, because if you drop points in either of those games and City beat you, then the title's gone, as far as I'm concerned. It would be full Mourinho if got 6 points and then went into that game and just went, right, I'm going to stay for a point today. Just so that by the time it comes round to the 2nd derby, see where you are.
He doesn't do that at home though. We get criticised for not going for it in those games, but we do go for it in those games.
No, I meant more if you get 1-0 up is the point, rather than going up from the start. Is if you get that, then holding out for that, but still even.
I think he'll go for it. Honestly, I mean, it's a little bit far out from it because look, he wants to win. He does want to win the title.
Stats back it up, don't they? That United have gone for it at home, so.
I think Rashford and Martial as outlets, with how far forward City's defensive line pushes and how far forward their fullbacks go. I think that's probably why he's been trying to use them in the last couple of games in the same team, because that's such an obvious outlet behind the fullbacks, isn't it? If you can find, if Paul Pogba can hit them there, because basically nobody else has got that sort of range of passing in them, is that how we're going to do it? I mean, how do we beat this City team at the moment?
No, There's no right correct answer because surely someone would have had a better go at
We
it.
would not be sitting here.
Yeah, exactly.
to that.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I'll be getting paid
But
mega
they're not
bucks
the
by
greatest team ever. Are
No,
they?
no,
They
of
are
course
fallible.
not. Look, we were talking about it before, and look, they've had the fragile moments. You know, like again, I don't know if I mentioned it on air or off air, but you know, Stoke. They had a little wobble at Stoke, didn't they? And then they just went, nah, right, just score some more goals.
Even
and
a
it'll be
wobble at
fine.
Huddersfield, yeah, a little wobble at
The
Huddersfield.
goal, the Sterling's goal is a complete ricochet off, up off him.
A
and
penalty
it's-
and a ricochet.
So and then, even then it's a debate.
But I
penalty,
thought that
so-
showed a different side of them, though. I thought that showed that they've got the mental strength. Come from a goal behind against it.
Oh, really?
No, I really thought it did. I think Pep Guardiola's adapted to the Premier League this season.
This is a team though that's got Fabian Delph playing left back, and you know, say what you will, company still I just think they look absolutely invincible at the moment, and they've got that amazing aura around them, and they've got so much attacking depth and talent there. They can just swap things out and keep it going.
That's the big thing.
But it's not outside the realms of possibility that all they need is the one chink in the armour. And you know what? There's one manager who's amazing at doing that. It's Jose Mourinho. And I hate having to say that, but he's done that to Liverpool so many times in recent years. If you're not genuinely amazing, he finds a way to show, not just to exploit something, but to show the rest of the league how you go about doing it. So look, there's a very real possibility that he, whether he gets the win or whether it gets a draw or whatever from it, that he shows everyone else, goes, right, here's what you do. And you know, I could see that being a massive opening in this. I could equally just see this being the one where it puts it to bed. And I'll be perfectly honest, from a Liverpool perspective, I want as many teams drawn into this battle for second, third, fourth as possible. I don't mind Man City kind of running away with it because we're not going to be in contention. I'd rather you stay as close to us as possible, because I also don't like seeing you winning stuff. So,
but even after those 3 games, is what, 16 games played? It's not even halfway through the season, and even if it's 8 points, still then, you know, it's 2 wins and a draw. You know, 2 defeats and a draw for City, which, again, at this point you go, well, it's not going to their strength and depth. But who knows? You know, Kevin De Bruyne gets an ACL, something like that.
They've started the last 3 seasons in similar fashion, if not identical fashion. They're gonna wobble. It's just how long is that wobble, and is anyone able to capitalise?
Well,
on
look
that
at Chelsea last season. I remember we started really brightly. We were right up there with them, and then we hit January and we fell apart. At the time when we had to try and stretch them, so by the time they had their wobble at the end of January, it didn't matter. They could drop a few points, and they had that breathing room, and that's where they are at the moment. If it ends up 11 points, that's going to take a mega collapse at any point, you know, for that to be a.
But the best time to have a collapse, well, not to have a collapse, is Christmas, isn't it? Because of all the games back to back. That's where.
And let's be honest, the only team, because the only team to be top at Christmas and not win the league is us. So, like, you've got one window, one opportunity. You've got this month to basically overhaul them.
There was one year, I think, where it went from 15 points us ahead to like 12 points them ahead, and I think it's gone back and forth to that extent. In February and March, it just feels different, I think, this time around. That I think if anybody gets, or not if anybody, because let's face it, it's City or nobody, isn't it? If they get 11 or 14 or 15 points, I don't think they're dropping it.
What a title challenge this would be this season if City didn't exist. If someone just bowled City out the league, what a competition the Premier League would be. How dare they ruin the fun for the rest of us when we just seem to be getting our acts together and they've just gone to another plane, like.
Guardiola's got good form as well, hasn't he? Especially at Bayern Munich, of getting the league done by March. So
I could get the league done at Bayern Munich by March.
No, don't think so. You can't even speak German.
It's true.
No, it's good. I agree with what you said. I think there's a real the permutations of it. I would expect Man United to be going to that City game very, very competitive.
I think the Watford game is a very interesting one.
If you get through Watford.
Because they're the current hipster's choice, aren't they, at the moment? They're playing decent football. Marco Silva, everyone's loving him, if only just to take the piss out of Merson. And I think that, you know, this is a tough game.
Well, even looking at last 2 results, is, you know, underwhelming performance against Brighton, the Champions League. It's not exactly like there's a whole heap of confidence to go in with.
But we had this around Christmas time last year with Mourinho, and then just sort of ground out results.
Watford is just the note of caution on it all. Watford's, I love Watford. Like in that, like their ground's horrible, and it's tiny, and they play Z cars when they come out, which is shit, just like Everton.
And I call the Hornets, but they've got a moose.
I know,
Like,
but like they've got that section at the far end in the corner with the fans who constantly making the noise. They've got the mascot thing, and like not normally you're meant to hate mascots, but I remember watching it when we got beat there a couple of seasons ago. And but the mascot's job is to get young fans up and singing and making noise, and they've got the drumming. This is the most championship thing ever, and all the things that we purport to hate. But when you watch it and you think he goes, and all like I've seen like all the teenage and younger lads all stand up and they start clapping, they start chanting out of the crowd, and I was thinking, shit, you know, we're sat here going, mascots, but like they're getting the young fans.
Hey, Harry the Hornet follows me on Twitter, so
well, you've made it, mate.
Big up to him. So yeah, I'll direct message him. That's my biggest follower, I think.
Amazing.
Right, so let's call it. Let's wrap it up. How many out of the next 3 are United going to put away?
Purely points.
Yeah, let's go points. How many points out of 9?
I'm going to go 7.
Classic Mourinho gets the full 9 points out of this. Dogs out there like a counter attack.
Are you just saying this to be wrong?
I hope I'm wrong. Genuinely hope I'm wrong. But no, but that's what I mean. It's 2 stories. If you believe the Mourinho's Mourinho story, he'll find a way to break Man City's back or hobble them somehow, you know, and then go overtake them as the season progresses, because second season Mourinho, that's what Mourinho does. If Mourinho has started his powers are on the wane, then it'll be, you know, you'll draw with Man City and it won't be quite enough, but it'll be the fine margins kind of thing.
Bedwood,
5.
I think 5.
And it wouldn't surprise me if the win came against City.
I think 5. I think it could be in any of the games that we pick the win up, but I think we're drawing 2. But I think we're going to be undefeated. Right, that is it for me on the Social Club. Go and check out the other videos. The link is in the description below. Go and give all these guys a follow as well, and we'll see you in the next one.